What up, guys? Back again with another UFC fight picks video on the UFC 217 card, Bisping versus St-Pierre. Let's go ahead and get started here with these fight picks, starting off with the Fight Pass prelims. So first fight of the night, we got Amin Sahabi versus Ricardo Ramos. So I'm going to be doing some quick picks on some of these fights. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and pick Ricardo Ramos. He is the favorite. Sahabi's a plus 170 underdog. A lot of people were really high on Sahabi making his debut. He didn't look that great against below average opponent. That guy actually did, pretty well against Sahabi. But yeah, Sahabi didn't look that good in his debut. His opponent, Ricardo Ramos, in his debut against Tanaka, he looked decent, and to me it looks like Ramos seems to be the more safer play here, the more smarter pick pretty much. Sahabi, I mean, I don't know, I feel like he doesn't do enough sometimes in the fight, and I feel like Ramos here having that jiu-jitsu and having some decent striking, could put up a pretty good fight here against Sahabi. I do feel Sahabi is the better striker, but at the same time I feel like Ramos is more active on the feet, and also has some good multi himself. So it's just kind of depends on how Sahabi comes out to fight. Like I said, I wasn't too impressed with him in his UFC debut. And also on DraftKings, they actually got Ricardo Ramos extremely cheap, even though he's actually the favorite. So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, I'm gonna be picking Ricardo Ramos on this fight, and I don't know if he gets a submission. I mean, if it goes to the ground, I think he could get a submission, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot of stand up unless Ricardo gets him on the ground. I think Sahabi's gonna be too smart to go for those takedowns against Ramos, because obviously Ramos has that jiu-jitsu. I think he's a Brazilian national champion, so he's pretty well rounded. And yeah, so I'll just pick Ramos to win by, I'm gonna say, by decision. Alright, now for the next fight, featured fight on the Fight Pass prelims, we got Alexei Olynyk versus Curtis Blaydes. Yeah, I'm picking Curtis Blaydes on this one. For sure, I think he gets the win here. Really good wrestling, good power, excellent cardio, improving his striking also, and a lot of good durability also for a heavyweight. He has a pretty good chin, so I feel like he's just gonna be too much for Olynyk here. Olynyk, all he really has is those submissions. If he catches you in a submission, then he wins. Other than that, his stand-up's not that good. His power doesn't have a lot of wins by knockout, but that's usually because he drops people and taps them out. So I'd say his power is all right, but I think Blaydes has gotten hit by heavier-handed guys, and he was able to withstand those shots. So I think Blaydes here should be able to get it done. He is the favorite here in the match. -330, so yeah, it makes sense. So yeah, I'm picking Blaydes on this one. Fuck, sorry about all this coughing, guys. Get some water. So yeah, I'll pick Blaydes to win by I'm gonna say probably, I don't know, because Olynyk does have that that submission threat, so I don't know if Blaydes is just gonna outstrike him on the feet or mix it up with the takedowns once Olynyk gets tired. But I'll just go ahead and say Blaydes, third round knockout or decision. Alright, now for FS1 prelims, we got Randy Brown versus Mickey Gall. So my initial gut pick, I was thinking probably Mickey Gall on this one, but after hearing what a lot of people are saying, to pick Randy Brown, because obviously Gall hasn't fought really good competition besides Sage Northcutt, and Sage Northcutt has very little ground game, and Gall was just able to tap him out very easily once he took him down. But pretty much what a lot of people are saying is true. Mickey here has a little bit of stand up. He doesn't have really good striking at all. And I feel like Brown here having that length, him just being bigger overall, way better on the feet. Take on the fence isn't that bad either. It's going to be a little bit too much for Mickey Gall here, and this is a pick'em here, so it's pretty much an even fight. If Gall could get him to the ground, he could potentially get him with some sort of submission. But at the same time, if Brown's able to stuff the takedowns, he's gonna be able to more than likely knock out Mickey Gall on the feet. So I'm gonna go and pick Randy Brown on this one. I feel like I said, he's just a little bit more well-rounded, the better striker, decent takedown defense, and I feel he's gonna be able to stuff the takedowns. Even though my gut pick initially when I saw the fight, I was thinking Gall. A lot of people were convincing me here, and I do think Brown probably comes out here with the win. So I'll pick Randy Brown to win by, I'll say, second round knockout. Alright, next fight, OSP versus Corey Anderson. Pretty easy pick. I'm always more than likely fading OSP. He's gotten a lot better now with that his Von Flue choke or whatever. He's been getting it very often. Let me just see I think his last fight was that Okami fight, which for sure I actually of course picked OSP on that fight. Yeah, so he beat Marcos Rogero de Lima, but he also got caught a couple times in that fight. But whatever, he got him on the ground, tapped him out. And against Okami, obviously, they went to the ground, and he caught Okami with the submission again. Corey Anderson, really good wrestling. Yeah, really good wrestling. His boxing's not that bad either. I feel like his only weakness is his chin. And OSP does have some power, but he's not the best striker. And when he does strike, to me it seems like he just kind of throws, like those sloppy punches, and then he has that really good kick to the body. So it's possible maybe he does hurt Corey in the fight and finishes him early in the fight. But at the same time, I feel like Corey here is the smarter pick. Him having that wrestling, and Tim, I think, like I'm saying, I think he's the better striker overall, better boxing. I feel like he's gonna be able to get it done here. So I'm gonna pick Corey Anderson here. I think he is the underdog here. Yeah, underdog at plus 127. I know he just got slept. Pretty sure he got slept in his last fight. Let me check this shit to make sure. Yeah, he got knocked out by Jimmy Manuwa, but Manuwa was a beast, so there, no shame in that. Before that, he knocked out O'Connell, lost to Shogun. But yeah, anyways, I feel like like I'm saying, the wrestling and the striking's gonna be there for Anderson. He just has to protect that chin, and he should be fine. So I'll pick Corey Anderson to win by decision. Next fight, Walt Harris versus Mark Godbeard. So if you guys aren't familiar with this fight, should have already happened, but in this fight, I think this was UFC 216. Walt Harris filled in for Derek Lewis to fight Verdum, and obviously Verdum tapped this guy out very quickly in the fight. Whatever, this guy took no damage, and now he's fighting his original opponent, Mark Godbeard. And yeah, of course I picked Walt Harris the last time, and of course I'm picking him again. I think he's just going to be too fast, better striker, more power, too athletic. And Walt Harris comes out with the first round knockout. Alright, next fight, featured fight on the FS1 prelims. We got James Vick versus Joe Duffy. So I'm going to pick Joe Duffy on this fight, guys. I feel like he's the more technical fighter. I feel like Vick's a tough fighter. Has some good boxing, but his defense, I feel, isn't that good. He's long and rangy. Excellent submissions also, but I just feel like Duffy's going to be too technical of a striker. Has really good boxing himself. I think he even has better boxing. And yeah, I feel like Duffy here, just being the more well-rounded technical fighter, should be able to get the win. So I'm going to pick Duffy to get the win here. You know, he could finish fights, but sometimes you never know. Could go to a decision here. Vic seems like a tough guy, but at the same time, that chin to me seems a little suspect at times, especially since he got KO'd by Dariush. So let's just say Duffy gets I'm gonna say a second round knockout. So Duffy, second round knockout. All right, now for the main card, guys, we got Johnny Big Rick Hendricks against Paulo Costa. So if you guys aren't familiar with this guy, this is Paulo Barichinha or whatever, but whatever, he changed his name. Anyways, calls himself the Eraser. But yeah, obviously this guy's fucking yoked up. This guy's fucking huge. He's big as fuck for the weight class. He just looks huge, you know, compared to Hendricks. So let me check Hendricks' last fight. Was that against Tim Boach? Before that, he got a win against Lombard. But yeah, against Tim Boach, he got knocked out. Didn't do too much. Got knocked out in the second round. And yeah, Paulo is a nasty striker. Devastating power. I mean, he looks pretty much like a young version of Vitor Belfort if you really look at him here. But yeah, he's too explosive, too much knockout power, too much size. Takedown defense, I feel like is all right. So if Hendricks has a chance to win this fight, it's gonna be with his wrestling. But I feel like eventually Paulo's gonna land the shot and he's gonna knock him out. I don't think, you know, Hendricks, you know, is gonna be able to withstand that power. I know he's training now at Greg Jackson's, but I feel like that's a little bit too late for that. Him at 185, you know, that's not gonna last too long here. I think Paulo's gonna knock him out, and yeah, Paulo's just been looking like a beast. Let me just check out his last two fights. Yeah, he knocked out all the way Bombase, who's a good striker. Bombase actually took him down twice, but whatever. Paulo knocked him out in that second round. Before that, he had a first round KO against Gareth McLellan. So yeah, there is a path to victory there for Hendricks. Use that wrestling, but I mean, as you guys can see there, negative 285 for Costa. That makes sense to me. Everybody's fading Johnny Hendricks here. It makes sense. Hasn't looked too good. Obviously this guy was for sure juiced up or something. You know, this guy's, you know, post USADA now. You know, it looks like he pretty much has no more power. And yeah, I mean, he's in bad shape. So yeah, Hendricks is not, you know, the same guy who beat up GSP anymore. So yeah, I'm picking Paulo, and I'll say he gets a first round knockout. Next fight, Stephen Thompson versus Jorge Masvidal. I'm picking Masvidal on this one, guys, as an underdog pick. Yep, plus 150. I feel like Masvidal here is the better boxer, more well-rounded overall, good wrestling, good takedown defense. You know, he's just a beast. Obviously, Maya, that was just a bad matchup. Maya was actually able to take him down. Even though, you know, he was able to take him down, it was still a split decision loss. It was a close fight. Wonder Boy, good striker, but I think he hasn't fought since that Woodley fight. Let me just make sure here. Yeah, so he hasn't fought since that Woodley fight. But yeah, obviously that was, you know, that's a different style matchup here, but Masvidal could always mix it up with the takedowns also, so you know, that's something for Thompson to worry about. But I feel like Thompson's a little bit too passive sometimes in his style. You know, he just waits too much, and yeah, I just feel like Masvidal, him having that better boxing, is gonna come into play here. So I'm gonna pick Masvidal, and I don't know about that knockout though. I mean, you never know. So I'm gonna say Masvidal by decision. All right, now for the not a featured fight, or the main fight in the main card, but we got a title fight here. Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Rose Namajunas. So quick pick, of course. I'm picking Jędrzejczyk, as she's obviously my most confident pick. Biggest favorite on the card at negative 600. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really pick against her, guys. good takedown defense. Well, actually, excellent takedown defense. Nasty striking. Her durability, I mean, she did get hurt. I think in the Andrade fight she got hurt for a second, or she got stunned. But I feel like Rose doesn't really have that huge power. As you guys can see there, she has no wins by knockout. She's more of a, she's like a good striker with some really good jiu-jitsu, pretty much is what I would classify Rose as. So yeah, Rose is well rounded, but I don't feel like she has that knockout power to really threaten Jędrzejczyk here too much on the feet. And yeah, I mean, Jędrzejczyk here just throws too much volume with her striking. Very devastating with her strikes. And also Rose's demeanor in the weigh-ins and stuff. That's another kind of like, like, to me, I don't know. Just like maybe that's just her style or whatever. But either way, I mean, I'm not gonna pick Rose anyway. So yeah, I'm picking Jędrzejczyk. She's just too good, and I'm gonna say she probably gets. I mean, lately I think she's been winning by decision, but you never know. Maybe she gets a 4th round finish, but I'll just go ahead and say Jędrzejczyk by decision as a safe pick. All right, now for the co-main event, guys. Another title fight. We got Cody Garbrandt versus T.J. Dillashaw. Yeah, pretty damn good fight here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick T.J. Dillashaw, another underdog pick here. You know, he's been looking good in his fights, in his recent fights. Still, you know, a really good striker, very good striking output, a lot of volume, good kicks, good wrestling. I think the wrestling will cancel itself out in this fight. It's going to be more stand-up. But I feel like Dillashaw here throws more kicks, and that's going to be the difference in the fight, the kicks. Cody does got that power, so obviously, you know, he could knock out Dillashaw, but I feel like Dillashaw's going to keep that range, use a lot of footwork, use a lot of movement. You know, throw those punches to set up those kicks. Maybe, you know, do some of those fake takedown attempts, just you know, just to keep Cody guessing, and eventually Dillashaw lands a head kick here. So I feel like Dillashaw gets a knockout here, guys, with a head kick. I feel like Cody's too much of a boxer style, and I feel like the kicks here, like I said, are going to be a big part of the game plan for T.J. Dillashaw. I can't really see either of these guys really using the wrestling, you know, as offense here. I feel like it's just going to be too much stand-up. But like I said, I feel like Dillashaw will mix it up. But yeah, ultimately, I feel like Dillashaw will land that head kick. So I'm going to say Dillashaw probably 3rd or 4th round knockout with that head kick. I'll say, fuck it, 3rd round knockout. Alright, guys, now for the main event. Michael Bisping versus GSP for the middleweight title. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pick GSP, guys. So I'm going to pick GSP because, well, I don't know. I just feel like, well, first of all, I feel like he's the more well-rounded fighter overall. But the reason I say I don't know is just, you know, because, you know, he's making that return, you know, after like 4 years or whatever, you know, super long layoff, pretty much retired, now came back. So it's like kind of like, I don't know why I'm picking him up, but at the same time, I mean, he is the more well-rounded fighter. Yeah, he's moving up a weight class, so that is kind of a problem there. But at the same time, I feel like GSP is, you know, is so much of a well-rounded fighter that it shouldn't affect him too much. But yeah, I feel like GSP has that wrestling, still has those takedowns. Good striking also to set up the takedowns. And I feel like Bisping's takedown defense is good, but it's not going to be good enough to you know, to pretty much stop GSP's takedowns. Tim Kennedy was able to expose Bisping's takedown defense. Obviously, Tim Kennedy's bigger than GSP, but I feel like GSP's way more explosive with his takedowns. So the takedowns are going to be there for GSP. And on the feet, he's not exactly a bum on the feet either. So yeah, overall, I feel like GSP here should be able to win the fight. And I don't know, to me, he seems extremely confident. Says he's gonna get a finish. So you know, I'm pretty, you know, intrigued to see that shit. Obviously, we already know Bisping though. You know, good striking, but he hasn't been looking exactly like a beast in his last fight. Like, you know, against Hendo. You know, he got hurt a couple times. Some people even thought he lost the fight. Obviously, GSP is a different fighter than Hendo, but pretty much what I'm saying here is GSP does got a really good shot at winning the fight. And a lot of people are picking Bisping because of the layoff and stuff like that. But I feel like GSP is going to come out, like I said, he's going to come out more improved. He's still well-rounded. Gonna have those takedowns, and yeah, you know, I expect I expect GSP to look good in this fight. So I'm clicking GSP, and I'm gonna say he gets, you know, if he gets a finish, it's gonna be by submission. I don't think he's gonna get a knockout here, but you never know. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's just stick with a safe pick. I say GSP wins by decision, guys. He's gonna mix it up a lot. Obviously, land the jab, land those strikes, go for those takedowns, get some heavy top control, wear out Bisping, and yeah, I feel like he's gonna win the fight. So I pick GSP by decision. All right, guys. So that does it for me for my picks. Sorry for the late upload here, but whatever, you know, video's up. So yeah, that's it. But let me give you guys my top 3 most confident picks. Most confident, starting with the first one, Jan Jacek. Most confident pick right there for sure. The next confident pick would be Costa, I mean. I feel like he gets the knockout for sure. And the other next confident pick would be Wall Harris. So those are my top 3 most confident picks. And my last my last 5 picks video, all my most 3 confident picks, all were right. So I'm obviously on point with these most confident picks. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be on point again. But I mean, you guys go ahead and post your comments. Let me know, you know, who you guys pick or whatever. What do you guys think about my picks? Least confident pick would have to be, who would have to be least confident pick? Least confident, I don't know, maybe Ricardo Ramos lets me down. Maybe him, maybe Brown, maybe him, maybe he somehow, you know, gets taken down easily and Gall taps him out. And maybe Masvidal just gets completely outstruck by Wonderboy. Anyways, there's 3 least confident picks there for you guys. But overall, I feel my picks are pretty decent here, and I think I'll get most of them right here for sure. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. Gonna be doing these. Well, I've been doing these UFC 5 picks videos every single time there's a UFC card. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, subscribe. And yeah, like I said, post your guys' picks below, and or let me know what you guys think about my picks. So that's gonna be it, guys. Enjoy the fights. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.